viewers. Myself, Shivani Shivadas, Community Executive and Content Creator from Cyber Kings India. Welcome to the interview session with Dr. Sanjeevv Khanna. We are excited to have such an inspiring guest with us today. Dr. Sanjeevv Khanna is the founder of the Academy for Self-Maximization and the Vice President and COO at Patanjali Foods Limited. Welcome to the interview, Dr. Sanjeevv Khanna. We are so glad to have you with us today. And thank you for
Thank you,
joining us.
Shivani. Thank you,
Yeah.
Shivani. Thank you very much.
To kick things off, let's talk about the Academy for Self-Maximization. As a founder, you offer a transformative coaching program aimed at identifying and fulfilling one's purpose in life. So, could you describe the core components of your program and the inspiration behind creating it?
Yeah. So there are two parts of it. I will answer both. First, I tell you why this Academy for Self-Maximization was formed. There were two reasons. One, that many people want to know that 80% people globally are not able to lead a life of purpose. 80% people. It's only 20% people who will probably include all the celebrities that you and I know globally. And because there are few, even in the reality shows, etc., you would have been seeing some kids start singing so brilliantly at a very young age when they are 8 or 10 years old, and people wonder कि इसने बोलना कब सीखा होगा और सुर ताल की समझ इसको कब आई होगी when he would have got into the music. The same way some people dance that way, some people play cricket that way. At 16, Sachin Tendulkar was playing for India. So, when your purpose, passion, and potential, it is combined. You have a purpose of your life. There is a passion that you follow, each individual, and then there is a potential, hidden potential. Now, in case we follow our passion and we realize our purpose of life, then our potential also optimizes. And whatever are the missing areas, we can improve on that also. But when we don't know which direction I have to go, if you don't know who Sanjeev Khanna is and whom to interview, how will you interview? The same way, if I don't know my purpose, that, in the morning when you get up, you can't even go to your office without knowing where you have to go, right? Because then you calculate when I start, what mode do I take, and how do I reach? And we live a whole life without knowing in what direction we are going. Someone accidentally gets into something and he and she starts believing that this is my life. So when 80% people are not able to lead a life of purpose, and since I was learning coaching, so I somewhere got into IKIGAI philosophy, the IKIGAI philosophy of Japan, philosophy which enables you to realize your purpose of life. I thought that I must first understand, and that's how I became India's first licensed IKIGAI coach. Then I wrote two books also, which became Amazon bestsellers. One is Ikigai. It's not a framework, it's a life philosophy. And the second is Art of Self-Maximization, which is my academy's name also, Academy for Self-Maximization. So the intent is that to the optimum level of each individual we must reach. Everyone will not become Amitabh Bachchan or Sachin Tendulkar or Mukesh Ambani, but we all can reach our own potential, and we have to keep learning for that. So that is what became my passion. So in Ikigai, I have found my Ikigai. That has become my purpose of life, that I will connect more and more people with their purpose so that they live a happy and contented life. So that's how it started off.
That's amazing, sir. That was really amazing. And in addition to your diverse roles, you also serve as the Vice President and COO at Patanjali Ruchi Soya. We would love to hear about your roles and experiences at Patanjali Ruchi Soya.
Well, about Patanjali Ruchi Soya, I will not be able to share much that because I'm working here. I can maybe discuss more about the previous assignments. But as far as Patanjali Ruchi Soya is concerned, basically it is not Ruchi Soya now any longer. It is Patanjali Foods Limited. When we had acquired Ruchi Soya 5 years back, at that point of time, we had named it as Patanjali Foods Limited. So Ruchi Soya is still there as a brand, but the name of the company now is Patanjali Foods Limited. And I'm working with Patanjali for almost a decade now, almost last 10 years. So almost the time that Patanjali started its professional journey. And for me, that had been my career journey also, that I have worked in 5 or 6 companies, and each of that organization, I joined in the project phase when they were starting up. So it was like Honda Cars. So I joined Honda Cars when they were setting up their operations in India. Then from there, I moved to Samsung Electronic when they were setting up their business in India, when they were only 5-10 employees. Then I joined ITC Lifestyle Division, again in the project phase. Then I joined Metro Cash and Carry. Then BigBasket.com. I had set up their business in northern India. And then now Patanjali for last 10 years.
All right. That's great, sir. That's great. And with over 3 decades in corporate roles and your current focus as a licensed Ikigai coach, you have a remarkable professional journey. Could you highlight some key achievements from your professional career and the journey associated with it?
Two things certainly I would like to share because that may give some inspiration to people who are listening to us. Because as I keep saying in a couplet, अगर शेर व शायरी के उसमें तो एक बहुत अच्छा 2-4 लाइनें हैं कि जिस दिन से चला हूं मेरी मंजिल पे नजर है। जिस दिन से चला हूं मेरी मंजिल पे नजर है, मैंने कभी मील का पत्थर नहीं देखा। ये फूल भला कोई मुझे विरासत में मिले हैं, तुमने मेरा कांटों भरा बिस्तर नहीं देखा। बेवक्त अगर जाऊंगा तो सब चौंक पड़ेंगे, मुद्दत हुई दिन में कभी घर नहीं देखा। So it's a long journey. We all have to, if you really want to reach somewhere, you want to make a career, successful career, then there is no shortcut, and you have to work hard and stay focused. You have to have perseverance. You have to have clarity of your goal, and then you should be prepared to keep learning, because when we pass out, I passed out, I did my management maybe 35, 36 years back. Okay. Which may not be your age also. So 36 years back when I did my post graduation, if I start believing that that knowledge will see me through uh, till I retire, then it is not really going to work. You have to keep reinventing yourself. I mean, I think again I will just take that example of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan. He became the star of the millennium. Then he started his own business, ABCL, and which was a disaster. He lost all the money, all the credibility, and he rebuilt it. By Kaun Banega Crorepati, he started that journey again. So you have to keep reinventing, and how you reinvent? By learning. You have to stay relevant, because there is a very good saying: "Good enough is not good enough." What was good enough yesterday is not good enough today. What is good enough today will not be good enough tomorrow. So you have to keep updating yourself, otherwise you will become outdated very fast. So learning is one thing, perseverance is another important thing, and focus of the goal, and keep learning. So these are a couple of things which I always believe have helped me. And another dimension, if I say, in any of the corporates, would be that I always believed in people. I very firmly believe that 100% of your customers are people, 100% of your employees are people, 100% of your stakeholders are people. So if you don't understand people, you don't understand business. So it's very important that value people. Another thing is processes. If you have the right people, they will build the right processes. If you have right people and the right process, nothing can stop you.
That's truly inspiring, sir. It's truly inspiring. Your expertise spans over various areas, including licensed Ikigai coach, ICF certified life coach, NLP practitioner, certified HR director, registered independent director, SCM expert, and over 3 decades of corporate experience with Honda, Samsung, ITC Limited, Metro Cash and Carry, Big Basket, and Patanjali Group. How have these diverse areas of expertise contributed to your success?
Very precisely, it is the same point that I was discussing earlier. You have to keep learning. So I very firmly believed right from the beginning of my career that if I leave one organization, I will leave that industry because each of these organizations were world class. They are world's best. So if I'm working in Honda, there is no reason for me to leave Honda and join Toyota. Normally people get branded that he or she is a automobile person, he or she is a consumer durable person, he or she is FMCG person, he or she is IT person. I was very clear that I will never like to be stamped that I am this industry person. I would like to be recognized as a management expert. And to do that, it was very important that if I leave one organization, I would have learned and I would have contributed to the optimum level that I can. And once I find that I'm getting into my comfort zone, so comfort used to give me the discomfort. And I chose another industry where I have to make a fresh beginning. Now, my this learning of the previous organization, like automobile learnings, along with the consumer durable or electronic industry in Samsung, enriched me further. Then I moved to FM lifestyle division of ITC, so which was fashion and lifestyle products. So again, there was a fresh learning out there. And whatever you have learned, plus you keep adding new learnings. And that is how you keep evolving as a person and as a professional. So that is what probably helped me a lot. That's what got me my honorary doctorate also. Thereafter, of course, I did my doctorate in management as such, so that it's not only honorary, but it is a real doctorate also. So while doing all that, intent was not only to get the certificates or degrees. Actually, I have done many life and management programs from IAMs, ISB, University of London, Canada, Manchester, Oxford, Harvard, Stanford, because I'm a lifelong learner. And I think that is what I was saying earlier and even now, that learning is something I very firmly believe is what keeps you relevant with the times. If you are not updated, you are outdated. You will be out of market. And that's how your enrichment happens. That's how your whole persona keeps getting enriched. And that adds value to your own self, to the organization, and to the society and the nation at large.
Oh, that was really amazing and inspiring, sir. So, with your extensive background, you manage a range of roles and responsibilities. How do you balance these diverse roles to ensure that each one receives adequate attention and focus to maintain productivity?
Would say it's very easy. As I said, if you realize your purpose, so this is the purpose that I am living for. As I said, in IKIGAI, I have found my IKIGAI. The same had been happening even in the corporate journey. I had been trying to shape up the careers of my team members, my colleagues, wherever, in whichever way I could add value. And when you are enjoying what you do, then practically you don't have to work. Then you are enjoying what you are doing. So I always say that people say that there has to be a work-life balance, but I believe that we have only one life. We can't balance two lives in one life. So there is no work-life balance. Within this life, you have to make best. And when you are doing it, for Sachin Tendulkar, cricket is his life. It's not a profession only, or for someone like Kapil Dev. So you need to follow your passion, and after that you don't have to really work. Everything keeps happening because whatever you are doing. So if I'm working, so I'm learning. When I share it with some startups as a mentor or as a board advisor, or when I share my knowledge or my experience with someone as a coach. So if you really see with all these exercises, with all these spectrum of assignments that I handle, somewhere it is basically your learning and your aptitude, your attitude that you share with others so that they also learn those basic positive traits. I would say there is nothing great. It is simple positive traits. What happens? Most of us lose most of our lifetime either in regretting about the past or worrying about the future. Now, the problem is if I don't live in today, if I don't make best of today, the tomorrow cannot be better. To make a better tomorrow, I have to make the best of today. So that's how I believe and that's how I work. And I find that there is enough time. When I write books also along with that, I attend so many seminars, conferences, uh, where I share my experiences. So when I do all that, I have all the time and still after that, I'm willing to take up something more, something new all the day. I think three out of 365 days, at least for 250 days, I would be learning something. Even today, I would be having some session to learn. So while I'm teaching also, I'm sharing my knowledge. I'm keep learning also. And as long as you are learning, because life never stops teaching. So that's how life goes on.
So, in the rapidly evolving field of coaching and personal development, staying current is crucial. How do you keep yourself updated with the latest trends and innovations in coaching and self improvement?
Yeah, that's a important one. Basically, what happens, you might be knowing that coaching is the second fastest growing industry after IT, information technology. The second fastest growing industry globally is coaching. So what is happening that all across us, coaches are mushrooming. They are self-acclaimed coaches. So if I have been working in HR, so I start calling myself a HR coach. If I have been doing work in supply chain domain, so I start calling myself a supply chain coach. But actually, it's not that way because doing a job and coaching someone for that are two different, absolutely two different dimensions. So that's why before I started Academy for Self-Maximization, I had acquired the best global accreditation for it. That is IAPCM accreditation, International Authority for Professional Coaching and Mentoring, IAPCM. It's a UK-based certifying agency, which is world's oldest, largest, and the most valued, most prestigious. Then ICF program I did, then LLP program I did. So the idea was that before you start telling someone, you should be sure that what you are offering is world class. That's the best in the class. It is not self-acclaimed program that, I'm good and please learn it from me. Because what will happen if I don't know how to teach you, your opinion about the coaches will become bad. So I was very clear that if I get into something, I have to be reasonably good in that, if not the best. And when I became India's first licensed IKIGAI coach, I was very happy because I felt that now the opportunity has come where I can add value to the lives of people. And everyone who has done the program, they have found a total transformation in their value system, in their lifestyle, and in their happiness and contentment scale. Because, there had been one research by University of Canada in the developed, developing, and underdeveloped economies. And the first question they had asked in that survey was that what is that one thing in life that we all want, we all have to have? And the answer was the first two answers came happiness. Because happiness is something, whatever you are doing at the end of the day, if you are not happy, then it's meaningless. And the second thing came as contentment, fulfillment. Whatever you are doing, you have to have that satisfaction that I did something. Otherwise, again, it's meaningless. In the same survey, at question number 50 or somewhere, after half the survey was done, another question came: if you get Aladdin's genie, what are the three things you will ask? Now, what everyone wanted? Happiness and contentment. Now, when they got the opportunity to ask genie that three wishes, so number one came money. Number two came power and position. And number three came relationships. Now, this is also called a theory of medium maximization. Theory of medium maximization. These were the mediums to get that happiness and contentment. But now you are not aiming at the goal, you are aiming at the medium. The second thing, it's also called happiness paradox. आपको चाहिए हैप्पीनेस लेकिन आप मांग रहे हो कुछ और, तो खुशी कैसे मिलेगी? So these are the very basic things world over people need to understand, that you have to be happy, you have to be contented, and for that, money, position, power, relationship, these are all tools. But to achieve your goal, you should know how to use these tools, because otherwise, like we recently had, the India's biggest uh, share market broker having 40,000 crore net worth, and he died on a wheelchair. So it would not have happened. But money cannot buy you health, money cannot buy you happiness, money cannot buy you anything. Peace, smile, contentment. These are not the things which money can get you.
So, yeah, that was really nice, sir. And as per your experience in various sectors, what challenges do new entrepreneurs face? And what key advice would you offer to them to succeed?
Interesting one, because that sums up, I think, the whole journey of last 35 years, and which is continuing. Now I am, in addition to the current roles which we have already spoken, that as the Vice President and CEO of Patanjali, and being IKIGAI coach, I'm also mentor or board advisor to a couple of startups. And as I shared that most of the corporates where I have worked, most of the multinationals, I joined them in the project phase. So one thing that I very confidently can say with my experience with the corporates, well-established world's largest corporates, and when I'm working with the startups, that the challenges are same. Challenges are not different. It is the attitude which is different. It is the capabilities which are different. It is the mindset which is different. Most of the big organizations, you will find that they come with a solution mindset. And most of the startups come most of the time with a problem mindset. Now, when they come with a solution mindset, like Jack Ma of Alibaba, he had said that if 10 people are cribbing about something, so you have two options. Either you become the 11th one and join them, or you can be the solution provider to those 10 because you already have a ready market available, right? So it is the mindset change. And that is what I'm saying, that most of the people, most of the time, my understanding is that challenges, the problems are the same for everyone when you start something. But what is your approach towards it? What is your mindset? What's your attitude? That defines how far you go and how high you go. Your attitude defines your altitude. Uh, so there is a good saying on that. And there are three things I would like to share as my message to the younger generation. One is that be yourself. Let's remember that the original values more than the copy. Okay. So while we get inspiration from many, don't try to copy anyone. Be yourself, your taste, your passion, your purpose, your potential, your capability, your attitude. If everyone is jumping at red light and I also jump, then what is the difference between others and me? So the moment I do that, I become one in hundreds and thousands. The moment I become punctual, I become one among, again, millions and thousands and lakhs. So it is that keep using all those tools, whatever can, if you become a lifelong learner, it puts you ahead of millions of people. So be yourself, and that is something very, very important. The second thing I would say, that be a good citizen of the country and be a good human being. If you are not a good human being, then if you are a good human being, you will be a good father, a good son, a good husband, a good brother, a good neighbor, a good boss, a good subordinate. But if you are not good, you will keep putting mask. You will keep pretending, because actually from within you are not good. So you're trying to present yourself as good. That's very stressful. It's easy to just be good. So I always keep saying, do all the good to all the people all the time. Do all the good to all the people all the time. No stress. You're enjoying, you're doing something good only for everyone. And the third thing is be a lifelong learner, which I have been repeatedly saying. Every 3 years, the whole global ecosystem is changing. Every 3 years, the whole global ecosystem is changing. So if you are not updated, you are outdated. Stay relevant. And for that, learning is a mandatory thing, not optional. It's mandatory. We have to keep learning. Learn as much as you can because uh, Socrates, if you have heard the name, सुकरात भी बोलते हैं उनको हिंदी में हम, जो शायद दुनिया के सबसे पहले फिलोसफर्स में से एक थे. तो उन्होंने कहा था कि द knowledgeable person only knows one thing, that he doesn't know anything. He is the knowledgeable person. Because wise people always know that there is so much that I don't know and they keep learning. But otherwise, you will find people that, one song becomes hit, one match becomes hit, one book becomes hit, and suddenly they will start believing that they are God. It takes its own time to get that wisdom. Let's understand that we are work in progress till we die. We are work in progress. There is some improvement possible. So very firmly, I believe we have to keep learning to stay relevant. So that's my message.
That was some excellent advice and message from your side, sir. And I'm sure many aspiring entrepreneurs will find it very helpful. Thank you so much, Dr. Sanjeevv Khanna, for taking the time to share your insights and experiences with us.
Thank you, Shivani.
And-
Thank you very much for having me here today.
Yeah, thank you, sir. You're truly inspiring, and it's evident that your work is making a real difference. We wish you continued success ahead, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, to all our viewers, if you want to learn more about Dr. Sanjeevv Khanna and Academy for Self-Maximization, check out the links provided in the description below. Thank you all for joining us today and stay tuned for our next interview session. Take care and bye. Thank you.